On November 24, 2024, what began as a historic celebration at the Potter's House in Dallas turned into a moment that froze millions in fear. As Bishop T.D. Jakes preached before more than 12,000 people in the sanctuary and over 2.3 million watching live online, his voice suddenly faltered mid-sermon. His eyes rolled back, his skin turned grey, the microphone slipped from his hand and hit the floor, and the man known for unmatched strength collapsed in full view of the world. Panic spread through the church as he shook uncontrollably and struggled to breathe, a chilling scene made even more symbolic by the fact that it happened on the exact anniversary of the Potter's House's founding. But this moment of terror was only the latest chapter in a life shaped by suffering, endurance, faith, controversy, and astonishing influence. Born on June 9, 1957, in South Charleston, West Virginia, Thomas Dexter Jakes grew up in a small, segregated community where hard work and discipline defined survival. His father, Ernest Jakes, built a successful cleaning business, while his mother, Odith, instilled practical skills and spiritual grounding. When kidney disease struck his father, young T.D. spent 6 years witnessing pain up close, learning compassion long before he ever stepped into a pulpit. He preached to stuffed animals in his room, earned the nickname Bible Boy, and wrestled with faith, doubt, and loss after his father died when he was just 16. Forced to drop out of high school to care for his sick mother, Jakes experienced anger toward God even as he felt a deeper calling forming inside him. At 23, with little money and enormous faith, he opened a tiny storefront church in Montgomery, West Virginia, balancing ministry with exhausting work at a chemical plant while his wife, Sarita, supported them through radio work. That small congregation slowly grew, fueled by sermons that spoke directly to pain, healing, and survival. In 1996, Jakes made the bold decision to move his ministry to Dallas, Texas, launching the Potter's House with just 300 people. Within months, thousands were attending weekly, and by 2000, the church opened a massive sanctuary paid off in record time. What followed was an unprecedented rise, tens of thousands in weekly attendance, global broadcasts, books selling over 20 million copies, blockbuster faith-based films, political influence reaching U.S. presidents and world leaders, and a business empire generating hundreds of millions annually. Yet with fame came scrutiny. Jakes faced theological controversies, accusations of prosperity preaching, criticism from conservative Christians, debates over LGBTQ+ issues, and questions about his wealth and messaging. These tensions intensified in 2024 when he was unexpectedly named in a lawsuit connected to Sean Diddy Combs, triggering rumors, online attacks, and public suspicion. Jakes responded forcefully, denying allegations, filing defamation lawsuits totaling over $100 million, opening church financial records, submitting to investigations, and even releasing the results of a lie detector test. Then, just months later, the unthinkable happened on live television. Thanks to swift action by medical professionals in the congregation and the church's emergency protocols, Jakes was airlifted to Methodist Dallas Medical Center, where he endured a 9-hour surgery, multiple procedures, weeks in intensive care, and a brutal recovery. Against the odds, he survived. From his hospital bed, he addressed his congregation, raised millions for cardiac care, dictated a new book, and committed himself to healing. Just weeks later, he returned to the pulpit on New Year's Eve, thinner but unbroken, delivering a sermon that symbolized resurrection, resilience, and redemption. Through it all, decades of ministry, global influence, public controversy, personal loss, and near death, T.D. Jakes' story remains one of relentless endurance, a reminder that behind the empire, the power, and the pulpit stands a man whose greatest battles were never fought in public, but whose survival continues to shape millions who still listen, still believe, and still rise with him. If you want, I can.